Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Now, I'm going to talk about what's coming up this week, the 15th of August to the 21st. Now, before we begin, make sure that you are checking out my interviews on my podcast, Soul to Soul Connections with Jenny G. If you're subscribed here to my channel, you're going to automatically get notifications on that. And if you do want to book a clairvoyant psychic reading with me, soulworkwithjennygg.com. Now, this week, you guys, oh my gosh, we are still in this solar eclipse energy, eclipse season. So look back onto last week's video and also what's happened to you guys recently. This eclipse, and I've gotten slammed with a lot of different messages. Oh my goodness sakes. What has happened? There's been a lot of life changes coming, major life changes happening, sudden surprises and sudden endings. That's why, I had mentioned before, whatever it is, you need to resolve, clear up, do it before the eclipse had stepped in, because that eclipse removes situations, people, things. The eclipse is so powerful, it creates the entire planet to shake up. All of a sudden, huge earthquakes, tornadoes, wildfires, over in the Okanagan area, places have burnt down, huge wildfires. People have been evacuated. It's really, really horrific. Lots of things happen during the eclipse season. So it can also bring in a lot of really super great things. And as we are moving into this week, it continues on. However, this week, you are going to see even more reality versus illusion and fantasies with relationships. I've been getting messages saying, oh my God, I just caught my person cheating, or oh my God, this happened, that happened. Oh my God, I'm seeing this reality with my relationship, all of those things. Soul contracts are ending. So you might have noticed, you know what, this isn't working anymore for me. Any area, job, where you can be like, I need a career change. I've got to I'm not happy with what I'm doing right now. I need to walk away. This is in all areas of your life. Even actually this morning, I started writing down, what is this eclipse showing me so far? There's a certain place, that I knew was risky, the Okanagan wildfires and so on and so on. It's made me think more. So our life direction can change. Write down what you have seen so far. That's going to continue. I've written down, this isn't working anymore, no matter what I've said, no matter what I've done. Nothing's changed. Nothing is changing. We're seeing more clarity with it. Just continue to write it down. You don't have to worry about, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to, don't worry about that as much anymore. Just really start writing down and paying attention to what's been shown. Then you can figure out, okay, so what do I need to do to change this or to change that? So you're also going to be healing even more. Like for some of you that have had already that sudden shock or that sudden ending, you very well could be healing more so right now. That's going to continue on. Like that Chiron energy, that's going to continue on. There's a lot of inner child wounding that is healing, ancestral healing going on. Maybe some of you have, had, people passing away, all kinds of things. Healing could be even your worth. Seeing more of that. You're going to see more reality this week with your worth, self-love, self-care. Huge doors are opening up even more so for you. It could be anything, huge doors, oh yeah, we're actually going on our dream trip. Yeah, that's an amazing new door opening for you. it can open up your future, your destiny. So this eclipse season officially wraps up on the 12th. It closes, the doorway closes on the 28th of August. However, you still have until the 28th of August, until the 12th of September, to continue to work through things and make these changes and so on. So take advantage of this energy right now. Spirit, oh, what changes do I need to make? You can always book a reading with me, and I can give you a lot of insights into what decisions you're making and let you know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and so on. I'm just saying, sometimes we need those confirmations to help us on our path. So we know that, you know what, everything is okay. Yes, of course. So you're also going to be still continuing to working on past patterns. There's always stuff we work on, like toxic behaviors. Oh, I'm not going to be, I learned my lesson off of that. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, wow, I'm not going to do that anymore. Past patterns. Past patterns can be anything. I've got to really work on this more. You know what? I'm not going to chase this person. You shouldn't chase anybody, for goodness sakes. I have messages from women. Well, I've sent them 100 messages, like, or I've sent her 100 messages, like, what's going on? Slow down. Oh my God. Like, seriously. So start creating new plans for yourself. Always create new goals, of course. You're going to handle things so much differently now. There's a lot of growth during an eclipse. Like, there really is. Like, I wasn't sure what time the eclipse was going to happen myself. I don't really pay attention. And I was out walking my little puppy, Valentino, and I'm like, oh my God, my phone is acting really weird. My video wasn't working on it. My volume wasn't working. Oh my God, my phone is crashing. Like, oh my God. And I was frustrated. And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to deal with this now, right? So turn my phone off, turn it back on, same thing. And then when I had taken a picture, I looked at the time and I'm like, oh my God, that is when the eclipse happened here. However, here, I didn't see it because it's been really cold. It's like freezing autumn weather here. We haven't had a summer. Yeah, there's been some hot days, but not many. So it was during the eclipse happened here where I'm at that all of this happened on my phone. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's back to normal now, but I'm like, oh, I don't need to get another phone. Like, oh my God, really? Expenses here, expenses there. Oh my God, really? But it happens, right? So sometimes we have to take that step back and say, okay, what's truly going on? So keep this in mind, you guys, but really utilize this eclipse energy. We have to balance things, you know, balance out things. Don't force things, don't push things at all right now. You might have more energy to work through things and open up new doors for yourself. 100% yes. So you're going to find on the 15th and 16th of August, you could take a lot more bold chances, make bold statements, take a lot more risks with things. You're going to be speaking out more your truth, communication. You very well could see even synchronicity happening right now. Like, look back onto March this year. What were you starting in March? What was happening in March? You can remember, you could be seeing those results now. You know, I actually, like, what was I doing in March? And I'm like, actually, it makes perfect sense. It could be anything, like anything. You guys would know more. So you're going to find that you're going to be prioritizing a lot more things on the 15th and 16th. You're going to show more kindness and compassion towards others. You always should, anyways, because you truly don't know what somebody is going through. So you might be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to give my 2 weeks notice to my job, or like if you have to give a week's notice or a month's notice, I'm done. I'm putting in my notice now. I'm done. This is what happens to the eclipse. Big life changes, ending soul contracts, ending contracts. If this isn't working anymore, I'm going to end my contract with whatever it is. When is my contract ended? With my lease or with a business arrangement, like whatever it is, because I'm done. I'm done. Thank you, Spirit, for showing me this. You know, That eclipse with the Mercury retrograde and stuff, that was like, oh my God, huge arguments, huge misunderstandings, all of those. However, it was bringing very important issues up front on purpose for you to see and pay attention. It's like, you know what, Spirit, thank you. Like, I don't know how many reality checks I needed. Thank you. Now I'm ready to make these changes. Take things in your own hands and make it happen. If you have to depend on other people, we all have certain people we have to depend on, of course, with things. However, if you can do things on your own, at least you know it's getting done properly and efficiently. Why should you have to continuously, this wasn't done, that wasn't done? It could be a relationship, it could be anything. You will know. So you're going to see your skill sets even more. We all have different abilities, talents, skill sets, but you're going to see that even more. So utilize what you're good at, and this can really truly help you move on with your future during this eclipse that can open up new doors. Or, wow, I'm moving on with this career. I'm moving on. I'm changing this. 100% yes. So the 17th and the 18th, as we're moving into that, that's Venus and Libra. It's very well connected around soulmates again. You could be getting closer to your person, forming a different bond, brings in abundance. It brings in love. It brings in attraction. It brings in deepening bonds with your relationship. And it can be like, oh my God, we're so done. I'm done. You could be letting go of toxic relationships. You could be letting go of karmic relationships, because this is when you're going to see reality with your relationship. Like, oh my God, that eclipse, if you weren't paying attention to red flags in the past, oh my God, the eclipse is going to be like, no, we're going to really bring that up for you to pay attention to. And then it's up to you to make a decision if you're ready to walk away from this person, or you want to continue on until you're ready to be like, you know what, I'm done. So don't judge anybody on their journey. We all have stuff to go through. So you could find that you could be getting really triggered right now emotionally. You're going to see more so what was restricting you in your life, any areas. You're going to be reflecting over, wow, I've learned my lessons in the past. So you could approach relationships differently, and relationships could be business, it could be partnership, your person, it could be anything, but really pay attention. How did I handle that? How did I really resolve things? Are me and my partner, business partner, on the same path? Is there that disconnect? Is there someone's ego more stronger that they're only listening to themselves? They're not listening to you, vice versa. Really pay attention right now, because you're going to set your standards higher. You're going to see your worth even more. You're going to be, I don't need this bullshit. I am done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So you're going to be working through even more healing old patterns, chasing someone. Let's say if you're like, I've sent 100 messages to that person. Why did they block me? Well, I wonder why. Are you stalking them? Are you trying to push something? Are you trying to force something? Really? Maybe that person's not interested. You know, you will see that even more. So we're wrapping things up even more so, what new doors are opening up for you? Like, really, what new doors are opening up for you? Maybe something you worked on in March, project or like whatever it is. And you're like, wow, because of this project, now it's really taking me towards this or towards that direction. Or maybe some of you are like, I'm done putting in so much work and effort into all of these things. I'm not seeing results. I'm done. Move on, start something else. Maybe you just need to slow down and say, you know what, I'm going to do it on my own now. Or I'm just going to let all of these things go I gave it a go. Nothing happened. There's been no movement forward. I'm done. Look at that. Pay attention to that, or else it's just going to continuously on. You're going to get arguments. There's going to be constant mistakes. My eyes are open. My eyes are open. I've seen that, all of those things, right? So as we get towards the 19th and the 20th, you very well could be a lot more creative. Maybe some of you have ended those you know, new doors and old doors. And you're going to be like, wow, I'm more passionate now to start this. Because when old doors close, what happens? New doors open. I had to end that door. I had to close that door. I had to shut that door. I had to staple that door down. I had to nail that door shut. Old doors open new doors. We can go into fear of, oh my God, if I end this, if I quit my job, if I do this or that, oh my God, if I end the relationship, I'm going to be alone forever. No, no, no. This is where soul contracts come to an end, and new soul contracts can open with new people. I'm always meeting new people, new soul tribes all the time. We could shorten down our soul tribes to be like, you know what? No, don't connect with that person anymore. Your journey with that person could be over, and that's it. Or it could be over temporary, and maybe you'll reconnect with them at a different time. It just depends. Mercury retrograde brings people from the past. So this eclipse has brought in people from the past as well. I've been talking about that. Certain people come back similar to Mercury retrograde. However, there could be a little different with maturity levels. So if you're interested in someone, look at the reality of the maturity level. Are they on the same page with you? Are they? Yes, chemistry is great, 100%, but that's not going to hold a relationship together. Are you happy with how your partner is treating you? Is it balanced with giving and receiving? Are you on the same page? Or are you constantly getting disappointed, hurt, betrayed, explaining yourself 100 million times? Nothing's working out, you know? Karmic relationships has been a huge focus this year, especially the past few months. The eclipse is a reality shut, closed, slam, or opening new doors if you end the old. So this is when you'll have more courage, as I mentioned. You might have the courage to say, you know what, I've had to close these doors, and I'm releasing fear. Fear is an illusion. I'm not saying to jump off a bridge and think you're going to survive. No. But when we start facing our fears with things, it gets resolved. We get liberated, because you're not going to want to be restricted and held back during this time either. You're going to be making more bold, risky decisions. I always do myself, you know, but I also pay attention as well. It's like, yeah, I want this and this and that, but I also monitor it. I pay attention to things. You have to do that, right? And who knows? I might just take the plunge and say, screw it, and continue on what I was going to be doing next year. I might just do that. I might be like, you know what? I don't care. So be it. And that's the way it is. I don't know. Take things one step at a time, one day at a time. See what opens up for you. Spirit, if I'm not supposed to be doing this, or going here, or making these decisions, or if I'm supposed to be opening up this or that, show me, give me a physical sign. I always book a reading with Jenny. I'm just saying, I give you that clarity. But you know what I mean, right? You can do that and be open to what spirit shows you. So you might just want more quiet time right now for yourself to reflect over everything. Oh, wow, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Pay attention to your body, how it feels. That eclipse can make you really tired. Wow, but I've been sleeping good or whatever, but I'm really tired. Yes, our body goes through a lot of different shifts, and your animals as well. But my eating is really, I'm not into this anymore. Yeah, that's the eclipse. It changes your body. It changes a lot of different things. Oh, I have so much more energy now. I can do my workout. And plus, yes, We're all different. We're all different. Pay attention. You need rest. Pay attention. If you have concerns with your health, of course, see your doctor. Solar flares continues on. So much cosmic stuff goes on that it's like, what is it now? Is this because of the planets or is this because it just continues? Things are very erratic. There's always this going on or that going on or this or this. Yeah. Listen to your body. If you have some concerns, something doesn't feel right, pay attention to that. It could be something very small, or it could be something major. As I mentioned, the dentist last month, right? Or no, this month. I can't remember, a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to need a root canal. I was going into panic because I get feared of the dentist, even though he's hot. But, I don't like to go, Jenny, it's been 6 years since you've been here. How nice of you to show up. Well, I'm not going to be coming to see you. Oh, pop in. Oh, yeah, just give me a feel. No, no. You want to have coffee with me? You know how to reach me. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, so just really pay attention. So I'm just going to pull a couple of cards to see where we're at. I don't know if you guys like the cards or not. And I pulled my romance deck because we're still dealing with relationship issues, right? Relationships. Of course we are. 15th to the 21st. What's going on? Right away, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That can happen. That can happen. We have to have attraction and chemistry with our partner. Of course we do. That can fade. Sometimes if we rush into a relationship too quick because the chemistry is off the rocks, it can end just as fast. This is why you have to take a look at what qualities do I want in a partner? Like, what qualities do I want? Yes, the attraction has to be there. It does. Maybe I need to spice things up in my relationship. Maybe I just faded away. Maybe your soul contract is ended with that person. Maybe you're just better as being friends than being in some serious relationship. Or, you know what I mean? Because some relationships were better off being friends than being in a romantic relationship. Some relationships can end and we can still be friends, or can end and that's it. We just move on and that's it. Everybody's journey is different than the others. So that's very fitting right now. You could have people reaching out, sending 100 messages as I'm saying, well, I've sent that person 100 messages. Now they've blocked me. Like, what's going on? Maybe they're not interested. Not you. You know what I mean? Or it could be you. It depends, right? We can't force our person that we're looking at to be attracted to us. No, it's either there or it's not. You can't force that. But why? I get people saying, why? Why not this person, her or him? Why are they not attracted to me? Like what? And I'm like, there's reasons why. It doesn't mean that you're not attractive. No. If that was your person, things would naturally happen. I'm just saying. You must listen to Jenny. So, okay, so let's just pull another card here. I get pulled towards what deck? Spirit pulls me towards. Too many cards fell out. I'm not feeling it. What is the message from the spirit world, the guides, universe? The 15th to the 21st of August. What is the message from spirit? Control. Take control of your situation. Self-love, self-care, self-worth. My goodness. Don't allow other people to walk over you. Also, let go of controlling someone. The only person in this planet you have any control over is yourself. You have no control over what other people are going to say or do. If you're trying to control someone, I will not have anybody control me. I will not allow anybody to try to pull me by chain and control me. No, that's me. If you feel your person is controlling you or trying to manipulate you, what are you doing about it? Are you okay with what's happening? Maybe it's the end of the soul contract. Maybe it's the end of the karmic relationship. Maybe you've learned lessons from the past. Possessiveness, jealousness, all of those low energy things are not healthy at all. However, maybe you have to go through that until you're ready to be like, okay, I'm good. I'm not going to allow my person to treat me like this. I know my worth. I've learned past lessons. I'm now seeing reality. You will see that this week with relationships even more. Truth versus fantasy versus illusion, and so on, even more. Reality will be shown, and in other relationships as well. So keep your eyes open, you guys. So if you do want to book a reading with me, soulworkwithjennyg.com. It's my new website that actually went out in March, believe it or not, right? My old website is gone. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm all over the place. So make sure you tune into my podcast, Soul to Soul Connections with Jenny G. Make sure you're subscribed right here to my channel, my YouTube channel, because that's when you're going to get notifications of podcasts and interviews and so on. And if you feel you have a story you'd like to share with me, reach out to me. Go through my website to send me a message on it. You can try on social media, but social media with all of this AI nonsense, it has a tendency to hide messages. Why do you think your messages are hidden? But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. So namaste, everyone. Till next time.